Welcome everyone to AA Castor Book Club. Today's book is How Dating Apps Destroy Dating, The Challenge of Finding a Partner. Before we start, please don't forget to visit my website at www.tonyc.info for more content, updates, and exclusive behind-the-scenes insights. This podcast is mainly supported by listeners like you. If you want to help keep the stories and book reading coming, consider supporting me on Patreon at www.patreon.com/JTAC. Even just $1 a month makes a huge difference and helps me continue to create the content you love. Thank you again for listening. Your support means the world to me. 8. Building understanding and patience. Patience and clarification. Recognizing the limitations of text-based communication, users should practice patience and seek clarification when needed. Rather than jumping to conclusions, asking follow-up questions can help ensure understanding. Building trust. Over time, as users become more familiar with each other's communication styles, the potential for misinterpretation decreases. Building trust and understanding through consistent and clear communication can mitigate the impact of limited context. Conclusion. The limited context in text-based communication on dating apps can lead to misunderstandings and misinterpretations due to the absence of visual and auditory cues. Without facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice, users must rely solely on text to convey their messages, which can result in ambiguity and emotional misalignment. To mitigate these challenges, users can use emojis, detailed descriptions, and transition to voice or video calls for richer communication. Recognizing the limitations and practicing patience and clarity can help build stronger, more meaningful connections despite the constraints of text-based interactions. Difficulty in reading intentions in text-based communication on dating apps. Text-based communication on dating apps presents unique challenges in accurately gauging the intentions and emotions of matches. The absence of nonverbal cues and tone of voice can significantly increase the risk of miscommunication. Here's a detailed exploration of how users may struggle to interpret intentions and emotions solely through text. 1. Lack of nonverbal cues. Facial expressions and body language. In face-to-face communication, facial expressions and body language provide essential context that helps convey intentions and emotions. Text-based communication lacks these visual cues, making it harder for users to understand the full meaning behind a message. Gestures and posture. Gestures and posture also play a significant role in expressing feelings and attitudes. Without these physical cues, text messages can be open to multiple interpretations, leading to potential misunderstandings. 2. Absence of auditory cues. Tone of voice. The tone of voice adds emotional depth to spoken words, indicating sarcasm, enthusiasm, seriousness, or other emotions. Text lacks this auditory element, making it challenging to discern the sender's emotional state or intention behind their words. Inflection and emphasis. Inflection and emphasis in speech can highlight certain parts of a message, providing clues about the speaker's intentions. These nuances are missing in text-based communication, leading to potential ambiguity. 3. Ambiguity and interpretation. Literal interpretation. Without additional context, users might interpret text messages literally, missing out on the subtle emotional cues that would be evident in face-to-face interactions. This can result in misinterpretations of sarcasm, jokes, or lighthearted comments. Variable contexts. Each user might have a different interpretation of the same text based on their personal experiences, mood, and current context, which can lead to misunderstandings. 4. Over-reliance on words. Limited expressiveness. Text messages rely solely on words to convey meaning. This limitation can hinder the expressiveness of communication, especially for complex emotions and intentions that are better conveyed through a combination of verbal and nonverbal cues. Misreading subtext. Users may misread or fail to detect subtext and underlying emotions in messages, leading to potential conflicts or confusion about the sender's true intentions. 5. Emotional misalignment. Delayed emotional responses. As text-based communication often occurs asynchronously, there can be delays in responses. This can result in emotional misalignment, where the sender's emotional context might differ significantly from the recipient's current state. Inconsistent emotional cues. The lack of real-time feedback can cause inconsistencies in emotional cues, making it harder for users to align their emotional states and understand each other's intentions accurately. 6. Increased risk of miscommunication. Ambiguity in tone. The tone of a text message can be easily misinterpreted. A message intended to be friendly or humorous might be perceived as rude or dismissive without the correct tonal context. Misunderstanding intentions. Without clear indicators of intention, users might misconstrue the purpose or seriousness of a message, leading to confusion about the sender's motives or feelings. 7. Strategies to mitigate difficulties. Use of emojis and emoticons. Emojis and emoticons can help convey emotions and tone, providing additional context that can clarify the sender's intentions. However, they should be used thoughtfully to avoid over-reliance and potential misinterpretation. Explicit communication. Being explicit and detailed in messages can help reduce ambiguity. Users can describe their feelings, intentions, and context more clearly to ensure their message is understood as intended. Clarifying questions. Asking follow-up questions and seeking clarification can help ensure understanding. Rather than making assumptions, users can verify their interpretations of a message. 8. Transition to richer communication mediums. Voice and video calls. To overcome the limitations of text-based communication, transitioning to voice or video calls can provide the missing auditory and visual cues. These mediums allow for more nuanced and expressive interactions, helping to convey intentions and emotions more accurately. Face-to-face meetings. Whenever possible, moving from online interactions to face-to-face meetings can significantly enhance understanding and emotional connection. In-person communication provides the full range of nonverbal and auditory cues, reducing the risk of miscommunication. Conclusion. The difficulty in reading intentions and emotions in text-based communication on dating apps stems from the absence of nonverbal and auditory cues. This limitation can lead to misinterpretations and increased risk of miscommunication. To mitigate these challenges, users can utilize emojis, provide explicit context, and ask clarifying questions. Transitioning to richer communication mediums like voice or video calls can also enhance understanding and emotional connection. By adopting these strategies, users can navigate the limitations of text-based communication and build more meaningful and accurate interactions on dating apps. Miscommunication and misinterpretation, potential challenges. Ambiguity in text-based communication on dating apps. Text-based communication on dating apps, while convenient, often suffers from ambiguity due to the absence of nonverbal cues and tone of voice. This ambiguity can lead to misinterpretations and unintended implications, affecting the quality of interactions and relationships. Here's a detailed exploration of how text-based messages can be ambiguous and the potential consequences. 1. Lack of nonverbal cues. Facial expressions and body language. In face-to-face communication, facial expressions, gestures, and body language provide essential context that helps clarify the speaker's intent and emotions. Text messages lack these visual cues, making it harder for the recipient to fully understand the sender's meaning. Tone of voice. Tone of voice adds emotional depth to spoken words, indicating sarcasm, enthusiasm, seriousness, or other emotions. Text lacks this auditory element, making it challenging to discern the sender's emotional state or the intended tone behind their words. 2. Multiple interpretations. Literal versus figurative meaning. Without additional context, text messages can be interpreted literally, figuratively, or in various other ways. A simple statement like, "I'm fine," can be interpreted as genuinely fine, sarcastic, or dismissive, depending on the context, which is often missing in text-based communication. Lack of emotional nuance. Text-based messages may not convey the full range of emotions that the sender intends. For example, a joke or playful comment might be misunderstood as rude or offensive if the recipient doesn't recognize the intended humor. 3. Context dependency. Recipient state of mind. The recipient's mood, previous experiences, and current context can significantly influence how they interpret a text message. A neutral message might be perceived negatively if the recipient is in a bad mood or has had a negative experience earlier. Cultural and personal differences. Cultural background and personal communication styles can also affect interpretation. What might be a harmless joke in one culture could be seen as offensive in another, leading to misunderstandings. 4. Ambiguity in content. Vague language. The use of vague or ambiguous language can contribute to misunderstandings. Phrases like, "we should hang out sometime," or "let's see how it goes" can be interpreted in various ways, leading to confusion about the sender's true intentions. Short and abrupt messages. Short messages or responses, such as "okay" or "sure," can come across as disinterested or dismissive, even if that's not the sender's intention. The brevity of these messages often lacks the context needed to convey the sender's true feelings. 5. Potential consequences. Misinterpretations. Ambiguous text messages can lead to misinterpretations, where the recipient misunderstands the sender's intentions, emotions, or meaning. This can cause unnecessary confusion, frustration, or conflict. Unintended implications. Messages that are not clear can be perceived in ways the sender did not intend. For example, a message meant to be lighthearted might be taken seriously, leading to unintended consequences in the relationship. 6. Strategies to mitigate ambiguity. Use of emojis and emoticons. Emojis and emoticons can help convey emotions and tone, providing additional context that can clarify the sender's intentions. For example, a smiley face can indicate that a message is meant to be friendly or humorous. Explicit communication. Being explicit and detailed in messages can help reduce ambiguity. Users can describe their feelings, intentions, and context more clearly to ensure their message is understood as intended. Asking clarifying questions. If a message is unclear, recipients can ask follow-up questions to seek clarification. This helps ensure understanding and avoids making incorrect assumptions. Using voice and video calls. Whenever possible, transitioning to voice or video calls can provide the missing auditory and visual cues. These mediums allow for more nuanced and expressive interactions, helping to convey intentions and emotions more accurately. 7. Building understanding and patience. Practicing patience. Recognizing that text-based communication has limitations, users should practice patience and avoid jumping to conclusions. Giving the benefit of the doubt can help prevent unnecessary conflicts. Building familiarity. Over time, as users become more familiar with each other's communication styles, the potential for misinterpretation decreases. Building trust and understanding through consistent and clear communication can mitigate the impact of ambiguity. Conclusion. Text-based communication on dating apps often suffers from ambiguity due to the absence of nonverbal and auditory cues. This can lead to misinterpretations and unintended implications, affecting the quality of interactions. To mitigate these challenges, users can utilize emojis, provide explicit context, and ask clarifying questions. Transitioning to richer communication mediums like voice or video calls can also enhance understanding and emotional connection. By adopting these strategies, users can navigate the limitations of text-based communication and build more meaningful and accurate interactions on dating apps. Assumptions in text-based communication on dating apps. Text-based communication on dating apps often leads users to make assumptions about their matches based on limited information. These assumptions can result in misunderstandings or premature conclusions, affecting the dynamics of potential relationships. Here's a detailed exploration of how assumptions arise and their potential consequences. 1. Limited information. Profiles and bios. Dating profiles typically include photos, brief bios, and a few details about interests and preferences. This limited information can lead users to fill in the gaps with assumptions, which may not accurately reflect the person's true character or intentions. Short messages. Initial conversations are usually brief and focused on getting to know basic facts about each other. The lack of depth in these interactions can result in assumptions about a match's personality, values, and compatibility. 2. Interpretation of text. Ambiguous language. Text messages often lack the clarity and nuance of face-to-face communication. Words and phrases can be interpreted in various ways, leading users to make assumptions based on their own perspectives and experiences. Tone and intent. Without auditory and visual cues, it's challenging to discern the tone and intent behind a message. Users might assume a certain tone that wasn't intended by the sender, leading to potential misunderstandings. 3. Personal biases and experiences. Past experiences. Users' past experiences can heavily influence how they interpret messages. For example, someone who has been hurt in previous relationships might assume negative intentions in a message that was meant to be neutral or positive. Cognitive biases. Cognitive biases, such as confirmation bias, can lead users to interpret messages in ways that align with their expectations or fears. 4. Assumptions about compatibility. Interests and hobbies. Users might assume that sharing similar interests or hobbies automatically means compatibility. However, shared interests don't always translate to deeper compatibility in values, goals, or lifestyle. First impressions. First impressions based on profile pictures and initial messages can be misleading. Users might assume someone is a perfect match or completely unsuitable based on these limited interactions. 5. Potential consequences. Misunderstandings. Assumptions can lead to misunderstandings about a match's intentions, feelings, or personality. This can cause unnecessary conflicts or discomfort in the interaction. Premature judgments. Making quick judgments based on assumptions can result in dismissing potentially good matches too soon or pursuing matches that might not be genuinely compatible in the long run. Emotional reactions. Assumptions can evoke strong emotional reactions, such as excitement, disappointment, or frustration, which might not be warranted if the full context were known. 6. Strategies to mitigate assumptions. Clarification and communication. Encouraging open and honest communication can help clarify intentions and reduce assumptions. Asking questions and seeking clarification about ambiguous messages can prevent misunderstandings. Taking time. Allowing more time to get to know a match before making conclusions can help build a more accurate understanding of their personality and compatibility. Checking biases. Being aware of personal biases and past experiences that might color interpretations can help users approach conversations with a more open mind. Transitioning to richer communication. Moving from text-based interactions to voice or video calls can provide additional context and help users better understand tone, intent, and emotional nuances. 7. Building empathy and understanding. Giving benefit of the doubt. Assuming positive intentions and giving matches the benefit of the doubt can help prevent premature negative judgments. Approaching conversations with empathy and understanding can create a more positive interaction environment. Focusing on consistency. Looking for consistency in a match's communication and behavior over time can provide a more accurate picture of their intentions and character. Consistent actions and words are more reliable indicators than isolated messages. 8. Educating users. Awareness of limitations. Educating users about the limitations of text-based communication and the common pitfalls of making assumptions can help them navigate interactions more effectively. Promoting patience. Encouraging users to be patient and take the time to build a deeper understanding of their matches can lead to more meaningful connections. Conclusion. Assumptions in text-based communication on dating apps often arise from limited information, ambiguous language, personal biases, and the lack of nonverbal cues. These assumptions can lead to misunderstandings, premature judgments, and emotional reactions that may not be warranted. To mitigate these challenges, users can focus on open communication, seek clarification, allow more time to understand their matches, and transition to richer communication mediums like voice or video calls. By building empathy, checking biases, and promoting patience, users can navigate the complexities of text-based interactions more effectively and build more meaningful connections. Emotional expression in text-based communication on dating apps. Text-based communication on dating apps poses unique challenges, particularly when it comes to conveying and interpreting emotions. The absence of facial expressions, body language, and other nonverbal cues can significantly limit emotional expression, leading to potential misunderstandings and difficulties in forming deeper connections. Here's a detailed exploration of how the lack of nonverbal cues impacts emotional expression and communication. 1. Limitations of text-based communication. Facial expressions. Facial expressions are crucial for conveying emotions such as happiness, sadness, anger, or surprise. Without seeing a person's face, it's challenging to understand their true emotional state, making it harder to empathize and respond appropriately. Body language. Gestures, posture, and movements add context to verbal communication. For example, crossed arms might indicate defensiveness, while a relaxed posture can suggest openness. Text messages lack these physical indicators, leaving room for misinterpretation. 2. Challenges in conveying emotions. Tone and intonation. In spoken communication, tone and intonation help express emotions and nuances. For instance, the same sentence can sound supportive or sarcastic depending on how it's said. Text messages can't convey these subtleties, leading to potential misinterpretation of the sender's intent. Subtle emotional cues. Small emotional cues, such as a slight smile or a furrowed brow, often go unnoticed in text-based communication. These subtle cues play a significant role in understanding how someone feels in a given moment. 3. Impact on interpretation. Ambiguity in messages. Text messages can be ambiguous, and without nonverbal cues, it's easy to misinterpret the emotional undertone. A message like, "I'm fine," can be interpreted in multiple ways: genuinely fine, sarcastically fine, or reluctantly fine, without additional context. Over-reliance on assumptions. In the absence of clear emotional indicators, users may rely on assumptions based on their own feelings, experiences, and biases. This can lead to incorrect conclusions about the other person's emotional state. 4. Strategies to enhance emotional expression. Use of emojis and emoticons. Emojis and emoticons can help convey emotions more effectively in text-based communication. A smiley face, for example, can indicate friendliness or happiness, while a sad face can convey disappointment or empathy. Detailed and descriptive language. Using detailed and descriptive language can help convey emotions more clearly. Instead of saying, "I'm fine," a more descriptive response like, "I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed but managing," provides better emotional context. Clarifying questions. Asking clarifying questions can help ensure accurate interpretation of emotional states. For example, if a message seems ambiguous, asking, "How are you really feeling?" can prompt a more detailed response. 5. Emotional connection and authenticity. Building trust. Consistently expressing emotions honestly and openly can help build trust and authenticity in text-based interactions. Sharing personal experiences and feelings can foster a deeper emotional connection. Active listening. Demonstrating active listening skills, such as summarizing what the other person has said and responding thoughtfully, can enhance emotional connection. Phrases like, "It sounds like you're feeling," can show empathy and understanding. 6. Transitioning to richer communication mediums. Voice and video calls. Transitioning from text messages to voice or video calls can significantly enhance emotional expression. Voice calls add tone and intonation, while video calls provide visual cues like facial expressions and body language, offering a more holistic view of the other person's emotions. Balanced communication. Combining text messages with occasional voice or video calls can balance convenience with the need for richer emotional expression. This approach helps maintain continuous communication while allowing for more nuanced emotional interactions when needed. 7. Mitigating misunderstandings. Clarifying intentions. Being clear about intentions and emotions in text messages can help reduce misunderstandings. Phrases like, "I'm joking," or "I'm serious" can clarify the tone of a message. Providing context. Sharing context around a message can help the recipient understand the emotional state behind it. For example, explaining a stressful day at work can provide context for a seemingly curt message. Conclusion. Text-based communication on dating apps, while convenient, often limits emotional expression due to the absence of facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice. This can lead to ambiguity, misinterpretation, and reliance on assumptions, affecting the quality of interactions and emotional connections. To mitigate these challenges, users can employ strategies such as using emojis, detailed language, and clarifying questions. Transitioning to richer communication mediums like voice and video calls can also enhance emotional expression and understanding. By being mindful of these limitations and adopting effective communication practices, users can navigate text-based interactions more successfully and build deeper, more meaningful connections. Miscommunication and misinterpretation impact on relationships. Conflict resolution in text-based conversations on dating apps. Text-based communication on dating apps, while convenient, can lead to miscommunication that escalates conflicts or disagreements. The absence of nonverbal cues and tone of voice makes it challenging to convey and interpret nuances and intentions accurately. Here's a detailed exploration of how miscommunication in text-based conversations can escalate conflicts and strategies for effective conflict resolution. 1. Challenges in text-based communication. Lack of nonverbal cues. Text messages lack facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice, which are essential for understanding emotions and intentions accurately. Ambiguity. Messages can be ambiguous or open to interpretation, leading to misunderstandings about the sender's intentions or emotional state. Assumptions. Users may make assumptions based on their own biases or past experiences, which can lead to misinterpretations of messages. 2. Causes of escalated conflicts. Misinterpreted tone. Without auditory cues, text messages can be misinterpreted as hostile, sarcastic, or indifferent, even if the sender didn't intend such tones. Delayed responses. Delayed responses in text-based conversations can create tension or anxiety, with recipients interpreting the delay as disinterest or rudeness. Emotional responses. Strong emotions, such as frustration or disappointment, can escalate conflicts when they're expressed through text without the moderating influence of face-to-face interaction. 3. Strategies for effective conflict resolution. Clarity and directness. Communicate clearly and directly to avoid ambiguity. Clearly express thoughts, feelings, and intentions to minimize misunderstandings. Use of emojis and emoticons. Emojis and emoticons can add emotional context to messages, helping to convey tone and reduce misinterpretations. Active listening. Practice active listening by paraphrasing and summarizing the other person's messages to ensure understanding before responding. Avoid assumptions. Avoid making assumptions about the other person's intentions or feelings. Instead, ask clarifying questions to gain a better understanding. Take breaks. If emotions are escalating, take a break from the conversation. Stepping away temporarily can provide space for reflection and prevent further escalation. Seek common ground. Focus on finding common ground and areas of agreement rather than dwelling on differences. This approach can help de-escalate conflicts and foster constructive dialogue. Apologize when necessary. If misunderstandings or miscommunications occur, apologize sincerely. Acknowledging mistakes or misunderstandings can help rebuild trust and rapport. Transition to voice or video calls. If a conflict persists or becomes complex, consider transitioning to voice or video calls. These mediums allow for richer communication with tone of voice and visual cues, facilitating clearer understanding and resolution. Learn from conflicts. Use conflicts as opportunities for growth and learning. Reflect on what contributed to the misunderstanding and discuss ways to improve communication in future interactions. 4. Building trust and understanding. Consistency. Consistently demonstrating honesty, respect, and empathy in communication can build trust and understanding over time. Patience. Be patient with each other's perspectives and communication styles. Recognize that misunderstandings are common in text-based conversations and approach conflicts with patience and understanding. 5. Cultural and personal considerations. Cultural sensitivity. Be mindful of cultural differences that may influence communication styles and interpretations of messages. Personal boundaries. Respect each other's boundaries and preferences for communication. Discuss and establish boundaries early in the relationship to avoid misunderstandings. 6. Conflict as a growth opportunity. Resolution through understanding. Use conflicts as opportunities to deepen understanding and strengthen communication skills. Discussing and resolving conflicts can lead to stronger connections and mutual respect. Conclusion. Miscommunication in text-based conversations on dating apps can escalate conflicts due to the lack of nonverbal cues, ambiguity, and assumptions. Effective conflict resolution strategies include clear communication, active listening, using emojis for emotional context, and seeking common ground. Taking breaks, transitioning to voice or video calls when needed, and learning from conflicts can foster trust, understanding, and stronger relationships. By approaching conflicts with patience, empathy, and a willingness to resolve misunderstandings, users can navigate text-based interactions more effectively and build healthier connections on dating apps. Building trust through effective communication on dating apps. Building trust on dating apps relies heavily on effective communication, which can be challenging due to the limitations of text-based interactions. Misinterpretations and misunderstandings can hinder trust-building efforts. Here's a detailed exploration of how effective communication fosters trust and strategies to overcome communication challenges. 1. Importance of effective communication. Clarity and transparency. Clear and transparent communication helps build trust by conveying honesty and openness. Clearly expressing thoughts, feelings, and intentions reduces the likelihood of misunderstandings. Consistency. Consistently demonstrating respect, empathy, and reliability in communication builds trust over time. Consistent behavior and messaging reinforce reliability and sincerity. 2. Challenges in text-based interactions. Lack of nonverbal cues. Text messages lack facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice, which are crucial for interpreting emotions and intentions accurately. Ambiguity. Messages can be ambiguous or open to interpretation, leading to misunderstandings about the sender's intentions or emotional state. Assumptions. Users may make assumptions based on their own biases or past experiences, which can lead to misinterpretations of messages. 3. Strategies for building trust. Clear communication. Be clear and direct in your communication to avoid ambiguity. Clearly express your thoughts, feelings, and expectations to minimize misunderstandings. Active listening. Practice active listening by summarizing and paraphrasing the other person's messages to ensure understanding before responding. This demonstrates attentiveness and respect for their perspective. Use of emojis and emoticons. Emojis and emoticons can add emotional context to messages, helping to convey tone and reduce the risk of misinterpretation. Ask clarifying questions. If a message is unclear or raises doubts, ask clarifying questions to gain a better understanding of the other person's perspective and intentions. Avoid assumptions. Avoid making assumptions about the other person's feelings or intentions. Instead, seek clarification to ensure mutual understanding. Share personal insights. Sharing personal insights, experiences, and perspectives fosters openness and authenticity, which are key to building trust. Be reliable. Demonstrate reliability by following through on commitments, responding promptly to messages, and being consistent in your interactions. Apologize and repair. If misunderstandings or conflicts arise, apologize sincerely and work together to resolve issues. Addressing and repairing trust breaches demonstrates accountability and commitment to the relationship. 4. Overcoming communication challenges. Transition to richer communication. Consider transitioning from text messages to voice or video calls when appropriate. These mediums allow for richer communication with tone of voice and nonverbal cues, enhancing understanding and emotional connection. Educate yourself. Learn about communication styles and preferences. Understanding cultural differences or personal communication preferences can improve mutual understanding and trust. Build emotional intelligence. Develop emotional intelligence to recognize and manage emotions effectively. Being emotionally aware helps navigate sensitive topics and foster empathy in interactions. 5. Consistency and patience. Consistency in behavior. Consistently demonstrating honesty, respect, and empathy builds trust over time. Reliable behavior and communication reinforce sincerity and reliability. Patience and understanding. Approach misunderstandings or communication challenges with patience and understanding. Building trust takes time and effort, especially in text-based interactions where nuances can be easily missed. 6. Building a foundation of trust. Mutual respect. Show respect for each other's perspectives, boundaries, and communication preferences. Respecting personal boundaries and preferences builds a foundation of trust and mutual respect. Authenticity and vulnerability. Share authentic thoughts, feelings, and experiences to foster vulnerability and deepen emotional connection. Being genuine and vulnerable encourages reciprocity and trust. Conclusion. Effective communication is essential for building trust and establishing a deeper connection on dating apps. Misinterpretations and frequent misunderstandings in text-based interactions can hinder trust-building efforts. By practicing clear communication, active listening, using emotional cues like emojis, and avoiding assumptions, users can foster trust, authenticity, and mutual understanding. Overcoming communication challenges through patience, consistency, and empathy builds a strong foundation of trust that enhances relationships on dating apps. Stress and anxiety in text-based conversations on dating apps. Navigating conversations on dating apps can be stressful and anxiety-inducing, especially when trying to convey emotions or discuss sensitive topics through text alone. The inherent limitations of text-based communication, such as the absence of nonverbal cues and potential for misinterpretation, contribute to these feelings. Here's a detailed exploration of how stress and anxiety manifest in text-based conversations and strategies to manage them effectively. 1. Challenges in text-based communication. Ambiguity. Text messages can be ambiguous, making it difficult to accurately convey or interpret emotions, intentions, and nuances. Misinterpretation. Without nonverbal cues like facial expressions and tone of voice, messages can be misinterpreted, leading to misunderstandings and heightened anxiety. Pressure to respond. There may be pressure to respond quickly to messages, especially if there's anticipation or uncertainty about the other person's expectations. 2 sources of stress and anxiety. Complex conversations. Discussions involving emotions, sensitive topics, or relationship expectations can be challenging to navigate through text alone. Fear of miscommunication. Anxiety may arise from the fear of being misunderstood or unintentionally causing offense due to the limitations of text-based communication. Overthinking. Users may overanalyze messages, trying to discern hidden meanings or intentions, which can heighten stress and anxiety. 3. Strategies to manage stress and anxiety. Clear communication. Be clear and direct in your messages to minimize ambiguity and reduce the risk of misunderstandings. Use straightforward language to convey your thoughts and feelings effectively. Use of emojis and emoticons. Emojis and emoticons can add emotional context to messages, helping to convey tone and reduce the likelihood of misinterpretation. They can also lighten the mood and ease tension in conversations. Take breaks. If you feel overwhelmed or anxious during a conversation, take breaks to regroup and gather your thoughts. Stepping away momentarily can provide perspective and reduce stress. Manage expectations. Clarify expectations around response times and communication frequency to alleviate pressure. Set boundaries that prioritize your mental well-being while maintaining respectful communication. Practice active listening. Focus on understanding the other person's perspective before responding. Summarize and paraphrase their messages to ensure clarity and demonstrate empathy. Seek clarification. If a message is unclear or causes anxiety, ask for clarification. It's okay to seek additional information to better understand the other person's intentions or feelings. Engage in self-care. Engage in activities that promote relaxation and reduce stress outside of dating app interactions. Practicing self-care, such as exercise, meditation, or hobbies, can help manage anxiety levels. Share vulnerabilities. Be open about your feelings and vulnerabilities in a respectful manner. Sharing your concerns or anxieties can foster understanding and empathy in the conversation. 4. Building resilience. Learn from experiences. Reflect on past interactions to identify patterns or triggers that contribute to stress and anxiety. Use these insights to develop strategies for future conversations. Set realistic expectations. Recognize that misunderstandings and challenges are common in text-based communication. Setting realistic expectations for yourself and others can reduce pressure and anxiety. 5. Seeking support. Talk to friends or counselors. If feelings of stress or anxiety persist, consider talking to friends, family, or a counselor. Discussing your concerns with a supportive person can provide perspective and alleviate anxiety. 6. Transition to richer communication. Voice or video calls. Consider transitioning from text messages to voice or video calls for more complex or emotional conversations. Hearing tone of voice and seeing facial expressions can enhance understanding and reduce anxiety. Conclusion. Stress and anxiety in text-based conversations on dating apps stem from the challenges of conveying emotions, navigating ambiguity, and managing expectations without nonverbal cues. By practicing clear communication, using emotional cues like emojis, taking breaks when needed, and engaging in self-care, users can manage stress and anxiety effectively. Building resilience through reflection, setting realistic expectations, and seeking support when necessary can enhance confidence and well-being in navigating conversations on dating apps. Strategies for effective communication. Use of emojis and tone indicators in text-based messages. In text-based communication, such as on dating apps, incorporating emojis, punctuation marks, or tone indicators like sarcasm tags can significantly enhance clarity and convey emotions effectively. Here's a detailed exploration of how these tools can be used to clarify tone and emotions in messages. 1. Enhancing clarity and emotion. Emojis as emotional cues. Emojis serve as visual representations of emotions, allowing users to convey feelings such as happiness, sadness, excitement, or affection. They add emotional context to messages, helping recipients interpret the intended tone and mood accurately. Punctuation marks. Punctuation, such as exclamation points or ellipses, can emphasize emotions or indicate pauses in speech. For example, "I'm so excited" versus "I'm so excited" can convey different levels of enthusiasm or anticipation. Tone indicators. Tone indicators like S or J clarify the intended tone of a message, reducing the risk of misinterpretation. These tags explicitly denote sarcasm, humor, or seriousness, ensuring that the message is received as intended. 2. Practical applications. Conveying humor. Emojis and tone indicators are particularly useful for conveying humor or sarcasm, which can be challenging to interpret in text alone. For instance, adding a laughing emoji or J after a humorous comment ensures that the recipient understands it as a joke. Expressing emotions. Emojis allow users to express a wide range of emotions beyond words alone. Whether it's excitement, gratitude, love, or disappointment, emojis provide a quick and visual way to convey feelings accurately. Softening statements. Emojis can soften statements that may otherwise appear blunt or harsh. For example, adding a smiley face at the end of constructive feedback can make it sound more supportive and encouraging. Clarifying intentions. Tone indicators such as S clarify when a statement is meant sarcastically, preventing misunderstandings that could arise from literal interpretation. 3. Strategies for effective use. Match emoji to context. Choose emojis that match the context and tone of your message. For example, use celebratory emojis like for good news or sympathy emojis like for condolences. Avoid overuse. While emojis are effective for conveying emotions, avoid overusing them, which can detract from the clarity of your message. Use them selectively to enhance rather than overwhelm communication. Consider cultural context. Be mindful of cultural differences in emoji interpretations. Emojis may have different meanings or connotations across cultures, so choose emojis that are widely understood in your intended audience. Use tone indicators appropriately. Use tone indicators sparingly and only when necessary to clarify the tone of a message. Overuse of tone indicators can detract from the natural flow of conversation. Combine with words. Emojis and tone indicators should complement, not replace, clear and articulate communication. Use them alongside well-worded messages to ensure complete understanding. 4. Benefits in dating contexts. Building rapport. Emojis and tone indicators help build rapport and emotional connection by effectively conveying emotions and intentions. They add warmth and personality to messages, enhancing the overall dating experience. Reducing miscommunication. By clarifying tone and emotions, emojis and tone indicators reduce the likelihood of misinterpretation or misunderstandings in potentially sensitive or nuanced conversations. Expressing affection. Emojis like or are commonly used to express affection and interest in dating contexts, fostering positive interactions and enhancing romantic communication. 5. Cultural sensitivity and adaptation. Understand cultural nuances. Be aware of cultural nuances in emoji usage. Some emojis may have different meanings or cultural connotations, so consider the cultural background of the recipient when choosing emojis. Respect preferences. Respect individual preferences regarding emoji usage. Some people may prefer minimal emoji use, while others may enjoy expressive and colorful messages. Adapt your communication style based on the recipient's preferences. Conclusion. Incorporating emojis, punctuation marks, and tone indicators enhances clarity and emotional expression in text-based messages on dating apps. These tools help convey emotions, clarify intentions, and reduce the risk of miscommunication. By using emojis and tone indicators strategically, users can foster effective communication, build rapport, and enhance the overall quality of interactions in dating contexts. Active listening in communication. Active listening is a crucial skill that enhances understanding, reduces misunderstandings, and promotes clearer communication in various contexts, including conversations on dating apps. Here's a detailed exploration of active listening and its benefits in fostering effective communication. 1. Understanding active listening. Definition. Active listening involves fully concentrating on what the other person is saying, understanding their message, responding thoughtfully, and confirming understanding through paraphrasing or clarifying questions. Key elements. Pay attention. Focus on the speaker's words, tone of voice, and nonverbal cues to grasp their message fully. Show interest. Demonstrate interest and engagement through verbal cues and nonverbal cues. Reflect understanding. Reflect back on what the speaker has said by paraphrasing or summarizing their message to confirm mutual understanding. Seek clarification. Ask questions to clarify any points that are unclear or ambiguous, ensuring that both parties are on the same page. 2. Benefits of active listening. Reduced misunderstandings. By actively listening, you're better able to understand the speaker's intentions, emotions, and perspectives, reducing the likelihood of misinterpretation or misunderstanding. Enhanced empathy. Active listening fosters empathy by allowing you to see situations from the speaker's point of view and understand their feelings and concerns more deeply. Improved communication. Clearer understanding leads to more effective responses and exchanges, creating a more productive and respectful communication environment. Building trust. Active listening demonstrates respect and genuine interest in the speaker's thoughts and feelings, building trust and rapport over time. 3. Practices for practicing active listening on dating apps. Focus on the conversation. Minimize distractions and give your full attention to the messages you receive on dating apps. This shows respect and enhances understanding. Validate emotions. Acknowledge the emotions expressed by the other person. For example, respond with empathy to statements of excitement, concern, or joy. Paraphrase or summarize. Repeat or summarize key points to ensure you've understood the message correctly. This technique confirms understanding and encourages the other person to clarify if needed. Ask open-ended questions. Encourage deeper conversation by asking open-ended questions that prompt the other person to share more about their thoughts, experiences, or preferences. Clarify ambiguities. If a message is unclear or ambiguous, politely ask for clarification. For example, could you clarify what you meant by? Avoid interrupting. Allow the other person to finish speaking before responding. Interrupting can disrupt the flow of conversation and indicate a lack of respect for their viewpoint. 4. Applying active listening in dating contexts. Understanding intentions. Actively listening helps you discern the other person's intentions behind their messages, whether they're seeking casual conversation, friendship, or a serious relationship. Building emotional connection. By listening actively, you can connect emotionally with the other person, showing genuine interest in their personality, interests, and values. Resolving conflicts. Active listening facilitates conflict resolution by enabling both parties to express their concerns, understand each other's viewpoints, and work towards mutually acceptable solutions. Developing trust. Consistently practicing active listening on dating apps demonstrates your sincerity, reliability, and respect for the other person's feelings, contributing to the development of trust and rapport. 5. Cultivating active listening skills. Practice regularly. Actively listen in all your interactions, not just on dating apps. Practice with friends, family, or colleagues to refine your skills over time. Seek feedback. Ask for feedback from others on your listening skills. They can provide insights into areas for improvement and reinforce your strengths. Reflect and adjust. Reflect on your conversations to identify areas where active listening was effective and where you can improve. Adjust your approach based on what you learn. Conclusion. Active listening is a powerful tool for enhancing communication on dating apps by fostering understanding, empathy, and clarity. By focusing on the speaker's messages, validating emotions, seeking clarification, and demonstrating genuine interest, active listening reduces misunderstandings and builds trust in dating contexts. Practicing active listening regularly improves communication skills, strengthens relationships, and contributes to meaningful connections on dating apps and beyond. Transitioning to video or voice calls on dating apps. Encouraging users to transition from text-based messaging to video or voice calls on dating apps can significantly enhance communication by fostering more natural interactions, emotional connection, and deeper understanding. Here's a detailed exploration of the benefits and considerations involved in making this transition. 1. Benefits of video or voice calls. Enhanced communication. Video or voice calls allow for real-time, synchronous communication where participants can hear each other's voices, see facial expressions, and observe nonverbal cues such as body language and gestures. Facilitating emotional connection. Seeing and hearing the other person adds depth to conversations, allowing for a more genuine emotional connection compared to text-based messaging alone. Building trust. Face-to-face interactions, even through video calls, help build trust by providing a more personal and authentic way to communicate and interact with potential partners. Clarifying intentions and personality. Video or voice calls offer insights into the other person's personality, communication style, and mannerisms that may not be fully conveyed through text messages. 2. Considerations for transitioning. Mutual comfort. Ensure both parties are comfortable with the transition to video or voice calls. Respect each other's preferences and readiness to engage in more personal forms of communication. Timing. Introduce the idea of transitioning to calls at an appropriate time in your conversations. This could be after establishing some rapport and mutual interest through text-based messaging. Privacy and safety. Prioritize privacy and safety considerations when exchanging contact information or connecting on external platforms for calls. Use reputable apps or platforms that offer security features and protect user privacy. Respect boundaries. Be mindful of each other's boundaries and preferences regarding the frequency and duration of calls. Respect any discomfort or hesitation expressed by the other person. 3 strategies for encouraging calls. Express interest. Express genuine interest in getting to know the other person better and suggest transitioning to a call to facilitate more meaningful conversations. Highlight benefits. Emphasize the benefits of video or voice calls, such as clearer communication, deeper connection, and the opportunity to build rapport more effectively. Schedule calls. Propose specific times or schedules for calls that are convenient for both parties. This demonstrates consideration for each other's time and availability. Initiate openly. Be proactive in initiating the transition to calls if you feel it would enhance your connection. Communicate openly about your preferences and willingness to engage in calls. 4. Tips for effective video or voice calls. Prepare environment. Choose a quiet and well-lit environment for calls to minimize distractions and ensure clear audio and video quality. Active listening. Practice active listening during calls by focusing on the speaker, responding thoughtfully, and asking clarifying questions to deepen understanding. Be yourself. Be authentic and genuine during calls, allowing your personality to shine through naturally. Avoid putting on a facade or trying to impress excessively. Enjoy the interaction. Approach calls with a positive mindset and enjoy the opportunity to connect with the other person on a more personal level. 5. Overcoming challenges. Technical issues. Anticipate and troubleshoot potential technical issues such as poor internet connection or audio-video problems to ensure smooth communication. Nervousness. If either party feels nervous about calls, acknowledge the discomfort and take it slow. Gradually ease into conversations to build comfort and confidence. Language or cultural differences. Respect and navigate any language or cultural differences that may affect communication during calls. Be patient and willing to clarify or explain when needed. Conclusion. Transitioning from text-based messaging to video or voice calls on dating apps enhances communication by allowing for more natural interactions, deeper emotional connections, and improved understanding of each other's personalities. By respecting each other's comfort levels, prioritizing privacy and safety, and embracing the benefits of face-to-face communication, users can foster meaningful connections and build rapport effectively in dating contexts. Chapter 5: The Gamification of Dating. Dating apps have revolutionized the way people meet and interact, often through gamification elements like swiping and instant gratification. This approach not only transforms the dating experience but also impacts user behavior and mental health. Here's a detailed exploration of the gamification of dating, focusing on swipe culture and the addictive nature of these platforms. Swipe culture, gamifying the dating experience. 1. Mechanics of swiping, simple and engaging. The swipe feature, popularized by apps like Tinder, allows users to quickly indicate interest or disinterest by swiping right or left. This simple, game-like mechanic is highly engaging and easy to use, making it accessible to a broad audience. Instant feedback. Swiping provides immediate feedback. A right swipe that results in a match gives an instant sense of validation, while a left swipe allows users to quickly move on, keeping the interaction dynamic and fast-paced. 2. Game elements in dating. Points and rewards. Matches can be seen as rewards, similar to earning points in a game. The more matches one gets, the more points they accumulate, driving users to keep playing. Levels and progress. Users may feel a sense of progression as they accumulate matches or conversations, similar to advancing levels in a game. This progression keeps users engaged and motivated to continue using the app. 3. Instant gratification. Quick decisions. Swiping encourages users to make rapid decisions based on limited information, primarily photos and brief bios. This can lead to superficial judgments, as the focus is on immediate attraction rather than deeper compatibility. Immediate rewards. The potential for instant matches and conversations provides immediate gratification, reinforcing the behavior and encouraging continuous use of the app. Addiction and dependency. The impact on mental health and behavior. 1. Addictive nature of dating apps. Dopamine hits. The brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward, each time a user gets a match or receives a message. This creates a cycle of seeking these pleasurable hits, similar to the mechanism behind gambling addiction. Variable rewards. The unpredictability of matches makes the process more addictive. This concept, known as variable ratio reinforcement, is also used in slot machines and other gambling devices. 2. Psychological impact, rejection and validation. The constant cycle of swipes, matches, and messages can lead to a roller coaster of emotions. Rejection can harm self-esteem, while validation can create dependency on external approval. Fear of missing out. The vast number of potential matches and the constant influx of new profiles can create a fear of missing out on a better match, driving users to continuously check and engage with the app. 3. Behavioral changes. Increased screen time. The addictive nature of dating apps can lead to excessive screen time, reducing time spent on other meaningful activities and potentially affecting physical health. Casual interactions. The gamified nature of swiping may encourage more casual, short-term interactions rather than meaningful, long-term relationships. This can perpetuate a cycle of superficial connections. 4. Mental health concerns, anxiety and depression. The highs and lows of the dating app experience can contribute to anxiety and depression. The pressure to present oneself in the best light, coupled with the potential for rejection, can take a toll on mental health. Self-worth issues. Users may begin to equate their self-worth with the number of matches or positive interactions they receive, leading to issues with self-esteem and self-image. Conclusion. The gamification of dating through features like swiping and instant gratification has transformed the dating landscape. While these elements make dating apps engaging and widely popular, they also introduce significant risks related to addiction and mental health. The addictive nature of the gamified experience, characterized by dopamine hits and variable rewards, can lead to dependency, increased screen time, and superficial interactions. Additionally, the psychological impacts, including anxiety, depression, and self-worth issues, highlight the need for users to be mindful of their app usage and seek balance in their digital and real-life interactions. By understanding these dynamics, users can better navigate the world of online dating while safeguarding their mental and emotional well-being. Mechanics of swiping. Swipe feature in dating apps. The swipe feature, popularized by apps like Tinder, revolutionized the way users interact with potential matches on dating platforms. Here's an in-depth exploration of how this simple and engaging mechanic works and why it has become a staple in modern dating apps. 1. Functionality of the swipe feature. User interaction. The swipe feature allows users to view profiles one at a time and make quick decisions based on visual cues. A swipe to the right indicates interest, while a swipe to the left indicates disinterest. Simplicity. The mechanics are straightforward. Users swipe right if they are interested in someone or left if they are not. This simplicity eliminates the need for complex navigation or interaction patterns, making the app intuitive and user-friendly. Instant feedback. Each swipe provides instant feedback as the user sees an immediate response, a match notification if both parties swipe right, or a move to the next profile if not. 2. Engagement and user experience. Game-like element. The swipe feature incorporates a game-like element, akin to playing cards or making quick decisions in a game. This gamification adds an element of fun and excitement to the dating experience, appealing to a broad audience, including younger demographics. Accessibility. Its ease of use makes the swipe feature accessible to users of all ages and technological backgrounds. It requires minimal effort and time commitment to navigate profiles and make decisions, fitting into the fast-paced lifestyles of many users. Reduced time investment. Users can efficiently browse through potential matches without investing significant time in each profile, which is particularly appealing to those with busy schedules or limited patience for lengthy browsing. 3. Psychological appeal and behavior. Instant gratification. Swiping offers immediate gratification as users receive immediate feedback on their actions. This quick feedback loop reinforces engagement and encourages continued use of the app. Decision-making efficiency. The swipe feature supports rapid decision-making based on initial impressions, leveraging visual cues such as profile photos and brief descriptions. Users can quickly assess potential matches and prioritize those who align with their preferences. Psychological investment. Despite its simplicity, swiping creates a sense of psychological investment as users actively participate in selecting potential matches. This involvement enhances user satisfaction and perceived control over their dating experience. 4. Evolution and integration. Industry standard. The success of the swipe feature has made it an industry standard in dating apps, influencing the design and functionality of numerous platforms that followed Tinder. Continuous innovation. While the basic swipe remains popular, dating apps continue to innovate by adding variations such as super likes, rewind options, or enhanced algorithms to refine match suggestions. User feedback loop. Feedback from users continues to shape the evolution of the swipe feature, leading to improvements in usability, inclusivity, and overall user experience over time. 5. Impact on dating culture. Shift in interaction norms. The swipe feature has influenced dating culture by promoting a more visual and immediate approach to matchmaking, shifting emphasis from detailed profiles to initial attraction and compatibility cues. Normalization of online dating. Its widespread adoption has contributed to the normalization of online dating as a mainstream method for meeting potential partners, especially among younger generations. Social interaction patterns. Users adapt their social interaction patterns to align with the swipe mechanic, influencing offline behavior and expectations regarding dating dynamics and initial meetings. Conclusion. The swipe feature in dating apps like Tinder has redefined how users engage with potential matches by offering a simple, engaging, and efficient method for indicating interest or disinterest. Its game-like mechanics, ease of use, and psychological appeal have made it a cornerstone of modern dating platforms, shaping user behavior, industry standards, and broader societal norms surrounding online dating. As dating apps continue to evolve, the swipe feature remains a fundamental component in facilitating connections and shaping the digital dating landscape. Instant feedback in dating app swiping. The instant feedback mechanism in dating app swiping, such as on Tinder, plays a crucial role in shaping user engagement, satisfaction, and interaction dynamics. Here's a detailed exploration of how instant feedback influences user behavior and the overall experience. 1. Immediate response mechanism. Right swipe. When a user swipes right on a profile, indicating interest, and the other person reciprocates with a right swipe as well, a match is created. This mutual interest triggers an immediate notification, providing users with instant validation of their attractiveness or compatibility. Left swipe. Conversely, swiping left indicates disinterest or lack of compatibility. This action allows users to swiftly move on to the next profile without dwelling on potential matches that do not align with their preferences. 2. Psychological impact. Validation and satisfaction. A right swipe that results in a match delivers a sense of validation and satisfaction to the user, affirming their attractiveness or appeal to potential partners. This positive reinforcement encourages continued use of the app and reinforces positive self-perception. Efficiency and decision-making. The swift nature of left swipes enables users to efficiently filter through profiles based on initial impressions. This rapid decision-making process aligns with the fast-paced nature of modern dating, where users prioritize efficiency and instant results. 3. Engagement and user experience. Gamification element. Instant feedback incorporates a gamification element into the dating experience, resembling a rewarding feedback loop seen in games. This gamified approach enhances user engagement by making the interaction dynamic and interactive. Feedback loop. The immediate notification of matches or rejections keeps users engaged and interested in the app. It encourages them to continue swiping and exploring potential matches, driven by the anticipation of positive outcomes. 4. Impact on interaction dynamics. Dynamic interaction. The rapid exchange of swipes and instant feedback shapes the overall interaction dynamics on dating apps. It fosters a dynamic environment where users actively participate in selecting and engaging with potential matches based on immediate responses. User behavior. Users adapt their swiping behavior based on instant feedback. Positive outcomes reinforce certain swiping patterns or preferences, while negative outcomes prompt users to adjust their criteria or approach. 5. Evolution and user expectations. Industry standard. Dating apps have adopted instant feedback mechanisms as an industry standard, influencing user expectations and shaping the design of new features and functionalities. Continuous innovation. App developers continuously innovate to enhance the instant feedback experience, integrating features like super likes or real-time notifications to further engage users and improve user satisfaction. 6. User satisfaction and retention. Enhanced user satisfaction. The immediacy of feedback contributes to higher user satisfaction by meeting the need for validation and recognition. Satisfied users are more likely to continue using the app and recommend it to others. Retention strategy. Providing instant feedback is a retention strategy for dating apps, as it enhances user experience and encourages regular app usage. It contributes to the app's success by maintaining user engagement and loyalty over time. Conclusion. Instant feedback through swiping in dating apps not only accelerates the decision-making process but also enhances user engagement and satisfaction. By delivering immediate validation or rejection, dating apps create a dynamic environment where users actively participate in selecting potential matches. This feedback mechanism influences user behavior, interaction dynamics, and app design, shaping the modern digital dating experience and setting expectations for user engagement across the industry. Game elements in dating. Matches as points and rewards in dating apps. In dating apps, matches often function as rewards, akin to earning points in a game. This gamification strategy not only enhances user engagement but also influences behavior and interaction dynamics. Here's an in-depth exploration of how matches serve as points and rewards in the context of dating apps. 1. Concept of matches as rewards. Positive reinforcement. When a user swipes right and matches with another user who reciprocates interest, it serves as immediate positive reinforcement. This validation reinforces the user's actions and encourages continued use of the app to accumulate more matches. Accumulation of points. Each match can be metaphorically seen as earning a point or achieving a milestone within the app. Users may perceive accumulating matches as a measure of their attractiveness or success in the dating realm, similar to achieving higher scores in a game. 2. Psychological impact. Sense of achievement. Successfully obtaining matches can create a sense of achievement and accomplishment for users. It validates their profile, interests, and attractiveness, boosting self-esteem and satisfaction with the app experience. Motivation to engage. The prospect of earning more matches motivates users to actively participate in swiping and interacting within the app. This motivation stems from the desire to increase their points and maximize their success in connecting with potential partners. 3. Gamification elements. Game-like dynamics. Dating apps integrate gamification elements, such as matches as rewards, to enhance user engagement. Similar to gaming strategies, these elements create a competitive or goal-oriented environment where users strive to achieve positive outcomes. Feedback loop. Matches as rewards create a feedback loop where the anticipation of achieving more matches drives continued app usage. This cycle of action and reward reinforces user behavior and promotes sustained engagement. 4. Impact on user behavior. Swiping behavior. Users may adjust their swiping behavior based on the perceived value of matches as rewards. They may swipe more selectively or actively enhance their profiles to attract more matches, aiming to optimize their score within the app. App engagement. The concept of matches as rewards encourages prolonged app engagement as users seek to maximize their success rate and accumulate more matches. This engagement contributes to the app's popularity and user retention. 5. Industry standards and innovation. Standard practice. Matches as rewards have become a standard practice in dating app design, influencing user expectations and app features. Developers continually innovate by introducing features that enhance the matchmaking process and reward system. Enhancing user experience. By leveraging matches as rewards, dating apps enhance user experience and satisfaction. This gamification strategy makes the app more enjoyable and compelling for users, contributing to its long-term success. Conclusion. In dating apps, matches serve not only as indicators of mutual interest but also as rewards that drive user engagement and satisfaction. By gamifying the matchmaking process, apps create a dynamic where users actively seek matches to accumulate points and achieve personal milestones. This gamification strategy influences user behavior, interaction patterns, and app design, shaping the modern digital dating landscape and setting expectations for engagement and success within the dating app industry. Levels and progress in dating apps. In dating apps, users often experience a sense of progression similar to advancing levels in a game as they accumulate matches or engage in conversations. This concept of levels and progress enhances user motivation, engagement, and satisfaction within the app. Here's an in-depth exploration of how levels and progress influence user behavior and interaction dynamics. 1. Concept of levels and progress. Accumulation of matches. Each match or successful interaction with another user can be perceived as achieving a level or milestone within the app. Users may interpret accumulating matches as progressing towards their dating goals or enhancing their status within the app's community. Conversation milestones. Progress can also be measured by the advancement of conversations from initial messages to deeper interactions or potential dates. Each stage of conversation completion may signify a new level of engagement or connection achieved. 2. Psychological impact. Sense of achievement. Similar to leveling up in games, achieving matches or progressing in conversations provides users with a sense of achievement and accomplishment. This positive reinforcement boosts self-esteem and motivates continued use of the app. Motivation to engage. The prospect of reaching higher levels or achieving more matches motivates users to actively participate in swiping, messaging, and profile optimization. This motivation stems from the desire to advance their status or success within the dating app environment. 3. Gamification elements. Game-like dynamics. Dating apps integrate gamification elements, such as levels and progress indicators, to enhance user engagement. These elements create a competitive or goal-oriented framework where users strive to achieve and surpass their previous milestones. Feedback loop. Levels and progress create a feedback loop where users are encouraged to continue using the app in pursuit of reaching higher levels or achieving more matches. This cycle of action and reward reinforces user behavior and promotes sustained engagement. 4. Impact on user behavior. Optimized interactions. Users may adjust their interaction strategies to optimize their progress within the app. They may prioritize engaging with profiles that are likely to result in matches or invest more effort in conversations that contribute to their perceived progression. Increased engagement. The concept of levels and progress fosters increased app engagement as users actively pursue their dating objectives. This engagement contributes to the app's popularity and user retention by providing a structured and rewarding experience. 5. Industry standards and innovation. Standard practice. Levels and progress indicators have become standard features in many dating apps, influencing user expectations and app design. Developers continually innovate by introducing features that enhance the progression system and user experience. Enhancing user satisfaction. By incorporating levels and progress, dating apps enhance user satisfaction by providing a clear path to achievement and success within the app. This gamification strategy makes the app more engaging and enjoyable for users, contributing to its long-term success. Conclusion. Levels and progress in dating apps function as motivational tools that enhance user engagement and satisfaction. By mimicking the progression systems seen in gaming, apps create a dynamic environment where users actively pursue matches and conversations to achieve higher levels or milestones. This gamification strategy influences user behavior, interaction patterns, and app design, shaping the modern digital dating experience and setting expectations for engagement and success within the dating app industry. Instant gratification. Quick decisions in dating app swiping. Swiping in dating apps encourages users to make rapid decisions based on limited information, primarily focusing on photos and brief bios. This quick decision-making process can lead to superficial judgments where immediate attraction takes precedence over deeper compatibility considerations. Here's a comprehensive exploration of how quick decisions influence user behavior and interaction dynamics. 1. Mechanism of swiping. Visual-based interaction. Dating apps employ a swipe-based mechanism where users view profiles, typically consisting of photos and short bios, and swipe right to indicate interest or left to pass. Simplified decision-making. The swipe feature simplifies the decision-making process by presenting profiles one at a time and requiring users to quickly assess each based on initial visual impressions. 2. Psychological impact. First impressions. Users form first impressions based on photos and brief bios, which can shape their initial attraction or interest in potential matches. This initial attraction often dictates whether a user swipes right or left, influencing subsequent interaction possibilities. Superficial judgments. The emphasis on immediate visual appeal can lead to superficial judgments where users prioritize physical attractiveness over other factors such as personality, values, or long-term compatibility. 3. Behavioral patterns. Impulse decision-making. The rapid nature of swiping encourages impulse decision-making, where users may quickly swipe based on gut reactions or snap judgments rather than a thorough consideration of profile details. Selective attention. Users may focus primarily on certain visual cues, such as appearance or style, while overlooking or giving less weight to other profile information that could be crucial for establishing meaningful connections. 4. Impact on interaction dynamics. Interaction pacing. Swiping fosters a fast-paced interaction environment where users rapidly cycle through profiles, leading to a high volume of swipes within short periods. This dynamic can influence how users engage with the app and manage their time spent swiping. Surface-level interactions. The focus on quick decisions and initial attraction can promote surface-level interactions where conversations may initially revolve around physical appearance rather than deeper, more substantive topics. 5. User experience and satisfaction. Efficiency versus depth. While swiping offers efficiency in browsing potential matches, it may compromise depth and thoroughness in assessing compatibility factors beyond initial attraction. This trade-off can impact user satisfaction depending on individual dating preferences. Behavioral adaptation. Users may adapt their swiping behavior based on perceived success rates or feedback, adjusting their criteria for swiping right or left to optimize match potential or satisfaction with the app experience. 6. Industry trends and evolution. User feedback and innovation. Dating apps continually evolve based on user feedback and behavioral insights, introducing features or adjustments to balance quick decisions with the need for meaningful connections and user satisfaction. Conclusion. Swiping in dating apps facilitates quick decision-making based on limited information, primarily photos and brief bios. This approach encourages users to make rapid judgments and prioritize initial attraction over deeper compatibility considerations. While swiping enhances efficiency in browsing potential matches, it can also lead to superficial interactions and potentially impact user satisfaction depending on individual preferences for depth and connection in dating experiences. As dating apps evolve, balancing quick decisions with fostering meaningful connections remains a key challenge and focus area for enhancing user engagement and satisfaction. Immediate rewards in dating apps. Immediate rewards in dating apps refer to the potential for instant matches and conversations, which provide users with immediate gratification. This concept of instant rewards reinforces user behavior and encourages continuous engagement with the app. Here's a thorough exploration of how immediate rewards influence user behavior and interaction dynamics. 1. Concept of immediate rewards. Instant gratification. Dating apps offer the possibility of immediate matches and conversations when users swipe right and mutually express interest. This instant gratification satisfies the user's desire for validation and connection in real time. Positive reinforcement. When a user receives an instant match or starts a conversation, it serves as positive reinforcement for their actions, encouraging them to continue using the app to seek similar rewards. 2. Psychological impact. Reward pathway activation. Immediate rewards trigger the brain's reward pathway, releasing dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. This neurological response reinforces the behavior that led to the reward. Motivation to engage. The prospect of achieving instant rewards motivates users to actively participate in swiping, messaging, and profile interactions within the app. This motivation stems from the anticipation of positive outcomes and the enjoyment derived from immediate gratification. 3. Behavioral patterns. Continued engagement. Users are more likely to engage with the app consistently when they experience frequent instant rewards. The desire to replicate or exceed previous positive experiences drives ongoing app usage and interaction. Optimized swiping behavior. Users may adjust their swiping behavior to maximize the likelihood of receiving instant rewards. For instance, they may swipe right more selectively or enhance their profiles to attract matches quickly. 4. Impact on interaction dynamics. Dynamic interaction. Immediate rewards create a dynamic interaction environment where users actively seek and respond to matches and conversations. This dynamic keeps the app experience engaging and reinforces user satisfaction. Communication flow. Instant matches and conversations facilitate the flow of communication, allowing users to quickly transition from interest to interaction without delays. This immediacy enhances user experience by reducing wait times and fostering real-time connections. 5. User experience and satisfaction. Enhanced satisfaction. Immediate rewards contribute to user satisfaction by meeting their desire for instant validation and connection. Satisfied users are more likely to continue using the app and recommend it to others, contributing to app popularity and growth. Retention strategy. Providing immediate rewards is a retention strategy for dating apps, as it enhances user engagement and encourages habitual use. The consistent delivery of positive experiences maintains user interest and loyalty over time. 6. Industry trends and evolution. Innovation and user feedback. Dating apps evolve by integrating features that enhance the delivery of immediate rewards, such as real-time notifications or personalized match suggestions. These innovations align with user expectations and preferences for instant gratification. Conclusion. Immediate rewards in dating apps, such as instant matches and conversations, play a crucial role in shaping user behavior and interaction dynamics. By providing immediate gratification, these rewards activate the brain's reward system and reinforce user engagement with the app. This positive reinforcement motivates users to continue using the app, contributing to enhanced satisfaction, retention, and overall user experience. As dating apps evolve, leveraging immediate rewards remains a key strategy for optimizing user engagement and fostering meaningful connections in the digital dating landscape. Addictive nature of dating apps. Dopamine hits in dating apps. Dopamine hits in dating apps refer to the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward, in response to receiving matches or messages. This neurological response creates a cycle where users seek these pleasurable hits, akin to the mechanisms observed in addictive behaviors such as gambling. Here's an in-depth exploration of how dopamine hits influence user behavior and interaction dynamics in dating apps. 1. Neurological basis. Dopamine release. When users receive a match notification or message on a dating app, their brain releases dopamine. This release occurs in anticipation of and upon receiving a reward, reinforcing the behavior that led to the reward. Pleasure and reward. Dopamine is known as the feel-good neurotransmitter because it plays a crucial role in experiencing pleasure and reinforcing behaviors that lead to rewards. In the context of dating apps, dopamine release contributes to the enjoyment and satisfaction users derive from matching with others. 2. Psychological impact. Positive reinforcement. Dopamine serves as a form of positive reinforcement, reinforcing the behavior of swiping right or engaging with the app. This reinforcement strengthens the neural pathways associated with using the app, making it more likely for users to repeat these behaviors to experience dopamine release again. Cycle of seeking. The pleasurable experience of receiving matches or messages creates a cycle where users actively seek these dopamine hits by using the app consistently. This cycle mirrors addictive behaviors where individuals seek rewarding stimuli to maintain pleasurable feelings. 3. Behavioral patterns. Increased engagement. Dopamine hits contribute to increased user engagement with dating apps. Users are motivated to spend more time swiping, messaging, and interacting within the app to replicate the positive experiences associated with dopamine release. Behavioral adaptation. Users may adapt their app usage patterns based on previous experiences of dopamine release. For example, they may adjust their swiping strategy or profile presentation to increase their chances of receiving matches and triggering dopamine release. 4. Comparison to gambling addiction. Similar mechanisms. The cycle of seeking dopamine hits in dating apps shares similarities with the mechanisms observed in gambling addiction. Both involve the anticipation of rewards and the release of dopamine upon achieving these rewards, reinforcing the behavior that led to them. Risk of overuse. Like gambling, the pursuit of dopamine hits in dating apps can lead to overuse or compulsive behaviors, where users spend excessive time and effort seeking matches to maintain pleasurable feelings associated with dopamine release. 5. Impact on user experience and satisfaction. Enhanced satisfaction. Dopamine hits contribute to user satisfaction by providing pleasurable experiences associated with matching and interacting within the app. Satisfied users are more likely to continue using the app and engage in positive interactions with others. Retention strategy. Dating apps leverage dopamine hits as a retention strategy to maintain user interest and loyalty. By consistently delivering rewarding experiences, apps encourage habitual use and foster long-term engagement. 6. Ethical considerations and user well-being. Balance and moderation. While dopamine hits enhance user experience, dating apps must balance providing rewards with promoting healthy app usage habits. Educating users about the potential effects of dopamine release and promoting moderation can mitigate risks associated with overuse. Conclusion. Dopamine hits in dating apps play a significant role in shaping user behavior and interaction dynamics by providing pleasurable experiences associated with matching and receiving messages. The release of dopamine reinforces app usage behaviors and motivates users to seek rewarding interactions. While these dopamine-driven experiences enhance user satisfaction and engagement, dating apps must also consider ethical implications and promote responsible usage to ensure user well-being in the digital dating environment. Variable rewards in dating apps. Variable rewards in dating apps refer to the unpredictability of receiving matches or messages, where users do not know when the next match will occur. This uncertainty makes the matching process more addictive by leveraging the concept of variable ratio reinforcement, similar to techniques used in gambling devices such as slot machines. Here's an in-depth exploration of how variable rewards influence user behavior and interaction dynamics in dating apps. 1. Concept of variable rewards. Unpredictable matching. In dating apps, users experience variable rewards because they cannot predict when they will receive a match or message. This unpredictability adds an element of excitement and anticipation to the matching process. Variable ratio reinforcement. Variable rewards operate on a variable ratio reinforcement schedule, where rewards are delivered at unpredictable intervals after a certain number of swipes or interactions. This reinforcement schedule is highly effective in reinforcing behavior and maintaining engagement. 2. Psychological impact. Anticipation and excitement. The unpredictability of variable rewards creates a sense of anticipation and excitement among users. They remain engaged and motivated to continue swiping and interacting within the app in anticipation of the next rewarding match. Behavioral conditioning. Variable ratio reinforcement conditions users to associate app usage with the potential for rewarding outcomes. This conditioning strengthens the habit of using the app regularly to seek these unpredictable rewards. 3. Comparison to gambling devices. Similar mechanisms. Dating apps leverage variable rewards in a manner similar to gambling devices like slot machines. Both use unpredictable rewards to maintain user interest and encourage repetitive behaviors to achieve rewarding outcomes. Psychological hooks. Variable ratio reinforcement exploits psychological hooks by providing occasional, Unpredictable rewards that stimulate the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. This stimulation reinforces the behavior of using the app. 4. Behavioral patterns. Increased engagement. Variable rewards increase user engagement by keeping users actively involved in swiping and interacting within the app. Users are motivated to spend more time and effort to maximize their chances of receiving rewarding matches. App habit formation. The unpredictable nature of variable rewards contributes to habit formation, where users develop regular app usage patterns to satisfy their desire for rewarding experiences. This habituation fosters long-term engagement with the app. 5. Impact on user experience and satisfaction. Enhanced satisfaction. Variable rewards contribute to user satisfaction by providing exciting and rewarding experiences associated with matching and interacting within the app. The element of unpredictability adds value to each match and reinforces positive user experiences. Retention strategy. Dating apps strategically use variable rewards as a retention strategy to maintain user interest and loyalty over time. By delivering unpredictable yet rewarding experiences, apps encourage continued app usage and interaction. 6. Ethical considerations and user well-being. Awareness and transparency. While variable rewards enhance user engagement, dating apps must ensure transparency about their use of reinforcement schedules. Educating users about the psychological mechanisms of variable rewards and promoting mindful app usage can mitigate potential risks associated with overuse. Conclusion. Variable rewards in dating apps leverage the unpredictability of matching outcomes to enhance user engagement and satisfaction. By employing a variable ratio reinforcement schedule, apps stimulate anticipation and excitement among users, reinforcing app usage behaviors to seek rewarding matches. While variable rewards contribute to a positive user experience, it is essential for dating apps to prioritize user well-being by promoting responsible usage practices and maintaining transparency about their use of psychological reinforcement techniques. Psychological impact. Rejection and validation in dating apps. Rejection and validation in dating apps describe the emotional impact of the continuous cycle of swiping, matching, and messaging. This process can evoke strong emotional responses, where rejection diminishes self-esteem, while validation fosters dependency on external approval. Here's a comprehensive exploration of how rejection and validation influence user emotions and behavior in dating apps. 1. Emotional dynamics. Cycle of emotions. Using dating apps involves a constant cycle of swiping right, waiting for matches, and engaging in conversations. This cycle can evoke a range of emotions, from anticipation and excitement to disappointment and frustration. Impact of rejection. Rejection on dating apps occurs when users do not receive matches or experience negative interactions. Rejection can harm self-esteem and lead to feelings of inadequacy or undesirability. Dependency on validation. Validation in dating apps refers to receiving matches, positive interactions, or compliments from matches. This validation can create a dependency on external approval, where users seek reassurance and affirmation from matches to boost their self-esteem. 2. Psychological impact. Self-esteem issues. Repeated rejection or lack of matches can negatively impact self-esteem and self-worth. Users may question their attractiveness or desirability based on their perceived success or failure in obtaining matches. Validation-seeking behavior. The desire for validation can drive users to prioritize matches and positive interactions as sources of self-worth. This dependency on external approval may lead to seeking constant reassurance and validation from matches to feel valued. 3. Behavioral responses. Behavioral adjustment. Users may adjust their swiping strategies or profile presentation in response to rejection or validation experiences. For example, they may become more selective in swiping or modify their profile content to increase their chances of receiving validation through matches. Emotional responses. Emotional responses to rejection or validation can vary widely among users. Some may become discouraged and decrease app usage, while others may become more determined to improve their profile or interaction skills to enhance validation experiences. 4. Relationship with app engagement. Impact on app engagement. Rejection and validation significantly influence user engagement with dating apps. Positive validation reinforces app usage behaviors, while repeated rejection may deter users from continuing to engage with the app. Retention strategy. Dating apps may leverage validation as a retention strategy by enhancing user satisfaction through positive experiences and interactions. Apps aim to mitigate the negative effects of rejection by promoting a supportive community and positive user interactions. 5. Coping mechanisms and support. Coping with rejection. Users may develop coping mechanisms to manage rejection, such as focusing on self-improvement, seeking support from friends, or taking breaks from app usage to maintain emotional well-being. Balancing validation. To mitigate dependency on external validation, users can focus on developing self-confidence and deriving self-worth from personal achievements and relationships beyond dating apps. 6. Ethical considerations. Promoting positive interaction. Dating apps have a responsibility to promote positive interaction environments and support users' emotional well-being. This includes addressing issues of rejection sensitively and encouraging respectful communication among users. Conclusion. Rejection and validation are integral aspects of the dating app experience, influencing user emotions and behavior. While validation can enhance self-esteem and engagement, repeated rejection can have detrimental effects on self-worth. Dating apps must balance promoting positive validation experiences with mitigating the negative impact of rejection to foster a supportive and emotionally healthy environment for users. Encouraging self-confidence and providing resources for coping with rejection are essential for promoting positive user experiences and maintaining ethical standards in digital dating platforms. Fear of missing out in dating apps. Fear of missing out in dating apps refers to the anxiety or apprehension users feel about potentially missing out on better matches or opportunities due to the vast number of potential profiles and the constant influx of new users. This fear drives users to continuously check and engage with the app to avoid the perceived loss of a potentially ideal match. Here's an in-depth exploration of how FOMO influences user behavior and emotions in dating apps. 1. Psychological dynamics. Anxiety and apprehension. FOMO in dating apps manifests as anxiety or apprehension about missing out on potential matches that could be more compatible or attractive. Users worry that by not actively engaging with the app, they may miss opportunities for meaningful connections. Comparison and uncertainty. The abundance of profiles and the variety of potential matches contribute to feelings of uncertainty and comparison. Users may compare their own matches or interactions with those of others, fueling a sense of urgency to find the best match. 2. Behavioral responses. Continuous engagement. FOMO motivates users to engage with the app frequently and consistently. They may check the app multiple times a day, swipe extensively, or respond quickly to messages to ensure they do not miss potential opportunities. Overwhelming choices. The abundance of choices can overwhelm users, making it challenging to make decisions or commit to a single match. This indecision stems from the fear of missing out on better options that may appear among the many profiles available. 3. Impact on user experience. Stress and pressure. FOMO creates stress and pressure as users feel compelled to keep up with the app's activities to avoid missing potential matches. This constant pressure can lead to burnout or fatigue from app usage. Emotional roller coaster. The emotional impact of FOMO includes fluctuations between hopefulness and disappointment. Users may experience heightened emotions based on their app interactions and outcomes. 4. Relationship with app engagement. Increased app usage. FOMO contributes to increased app engagement and usage frequency. Users spend more time swiping, messaging, and exploring profiles to maximize their chances of finding desirable matches and minimizing the fear of missing out. Retention strategy. Dating apps may capitalize on FOMO as a retention strategy by creating features or notifications that encourage frequent app usage. This strategy aims to keep users engaged and active on the platform to reduce the likelihood of missing potential matches. 5. Coping strategies. Setting boundaries. Users can mitigate FOMO by setting boundaries on app usage, such as limiting daily swiping sessions or disabling notifications to reduce constant engagement pressure. Focus on quality over quantity. Emphasizing quality connections over the quantity of matches can help users manage FOMO. By focusing on meaningful interactions rather than constantly seeking new matches, users may reduce anxiety and stress associated with FOMO. 6. Ethical considerations. Promoting healthy usage. Dating apps should promote healthy app usage habits and awareness of FOMO's impact on user well-being. Educating users about managing expectations and setting realistic goals can foster a more positive and balanced app experience. Conclusion. Fear of missing out in dating apps reflects users' anxiety about missing potential matches or opportunities due to the vast array of profiles and constant influx of new users. This fear drives users to engage frequently with the app, seeking to maximize their chances of finding ideal matches and avoiding feelings of regret or missed opportunities. While FOMO can increase app engagement, it is essential for dating apps to prioritize user well-being by promoting balanced app usage and providing resources for managing anxiety associated with FOMO. Helping users navigate the abundance of choices and emphasizing quality interactions can contribute to a more positive and fulfilling experience on dating platforms. Behavioral changes. Increased screen time due to dating apps. Increased screen time due to dating apps refers to the prolonged use of mobile devices or computers for swiping, messaging, and interacting within dating platforms. This behavior is driven by the addictive nature of dating apps, which can negatively impact users' time management, physical health, and overall well-being. Here's a comprehensive exploration of how increased screen time on dating apps affects users. 1. Addiction and engagement. Continuous engagement. Dating apps are designed to be engaging, with features like swiping, matching, and messaging that encourage frequent interaction. Users may spend extended periods on the app to maximize matches and interactions. Addictive features. Features such as variable rewards, instant gratification, and gamification contribute to addictive behaviors, prolonging app usage sessions. 2. Impact on time management. Time sink. Excessive screen time on dating apps can consume significant portions of users' daily routines, reducing time allocated to productive or meaningful activities such as work, hobbies, or social interactions offline. Distraction. Users may become distracted by dating apps, checking their devices frequently throughout the day to monitor matches or respond to messages, potentially disrupting focus on other tasks or responsibilities. 3. Physical health concerns. Poor posture. Prolonged use of mobile devices or computers while engaging with dating apps can lead to poor posture, especially when users hunch over their screens for extended periods. Eye strain. Staring at screens for prolonged periods may cause eye strain or discomfort, exacerbated by the small text and visual elements typical of dating app interfaces. 4. Psychological effects. Emotional impact. Increased screen time on dating apps can contribute to emotional fluctuations, including feelings of frustration, disappointment from unsuccessful matches, or anxiety related to maintaining app engagement. Dependency. Users may develop a dependency on dating apps for social validation or emotional fulfillment, relying on matches and interactions as sources of self-esteem or validation. 5. Social and relationship impact. Reduced face-to-face interaction. Excessive screen time on dating apps may reduce opportunities for face-to-face interactions and meaningful connections offline, impacting social skills and relationship building in real-life settings. Isolation. Users may experience social isolation or withdrawal from offline social activities as they prioritize app usage, potentially leading to feelings of loneliness or disconnection from others. 6. Mitigation strategies. Setting limits. Establishing boundaries on app usage, such as designated times for swiping or messaging, can help manage screen time and balance app engagement with other activities. Digital detox. Taking periodic breaks from dating apps or reducing overall screen time can promote mental well-being and reduce dependency on digital interactions. 7. Ethical considerations. User well-being. Dating apps should prioritize user well-being by promoting healthy app usage habits, providing tools for managing screen time, and educating users about the potential impact of excessive screen time on physical and mental health. Transparency. App developers should be transparent about the addictive features of their platforms and empower users with settings or notifications that encourage responsible usage and breaks from prolonged screen time. Conclusion. Increased screen time due to dating apps reflects the addictive nature of these platforms, driven by engaging features and the pursuit of social validation or connection. While screen time on dating apps can enhance accessibility and interaction opportunities, it is crucial to recognize its potential impact on time management, physical health, and overall well-being. By promoting responsible app usage and providing support for managing screen time, dating apps can foster a balanced and positive user experience that prioritizes both digital interaction and offline well-being. Casual interactions in dating apps. Casual interactions in dating apps refer to the tendency for users to engage in superficial or short-term connections rather than pursuing meaningful, long-term relationships. This phenomenon is often influenced by the gamified nature of swiping and matching, which emphasizes quick decisions and instant gratification over deeper compatibility or emotional connection. Here's a comprehensive exploration of how casual interactions are perpetuated in dating apps. 1. Gamification and swiping dynamics. Quick decisions. Dating apps employ a swipe-based interface where users make rapid decisions based primarily on visual cues such as photos and brief bios. This gamified approach encourages users to prioritize initial attraction and immediate gratification over deeper compatibility or relationship potential. Superficial judgments. The emphasis on swiping and matching can lead to superficial judgments, where users base their interest or disinterest on physical appearance or limited profile information rather than personality traits, values, or long-term compatibility. 2. Cycle of superficial connections. Short-term focus. The gamified nature of swiping fosters a culture of casual interactions where users may engage in brief conversations or casual dates without the intention of forming meaningful, long-term relationships. This cycle perpetuates a pattern of superficial connections that prioritize novelty and immediate satisfaction over emotional depth or commitment. Lack of investment. Casual interactions in dating apps may involve minimal emotional investment or commitment, as users may quickly move on to new matches or interactions in search of novelty or excitement. 3. Psychological and behavioral aspects. Instant gratification. The instant feedback and validation provided by matches and messages can reinforce casual interactions by rewarding quick swiping and superficial engagement. Users may seek immediate gratification without investing time or effort in building meaningful connections. Fear of missing out. The fear of missing out on potentially better matches or experiences can encourage users to prioritize quantity over quality, perpetuating a cycle of casual interactions driven by FOMO. 4. Impact on relationship goals. Shift in priorities. The prevalence of casual interactions in dating apps may influence users' relationship goals, with some prioritizing casual dating or short-term encounters over the pursuit of long-term relationships or emotional intimacy. Communication patterns. Casual interactions may be characterized by less meaningful communication or depth in conversations, focusing more on lighthearted topics or surface-level interests rather than personal values or life goals. 5. Social and cultural influences. Normalization of casual dating. The widespread use and acceptance of dating apps have contributed to the normalization of casual dating and non-committal interactions within contemporary dating culture. This cultural shift may influence users' expectations and behaviors on dating platforms. Peer influence. Social norms and peer behaviors within dating app communities can reinforce casual interactions by promoting a casual dating mindset or emphasizing the enjoyment of casual encounters without expectations of long-term commitment. 6. Ethical considerations. User expectations. Dating apps should be transparent about the potential for casual interactions and provide users with tools or features that support their relationship goals, whether casual or serious. This includes promoting respectful communication and managing user expectations regarding the nature of interactions on the platform. Safety and well-being. Ensuring user safety and emotional well-being involves addressing issues such as consent, boundaries, and respectful behavior in casual interactions. Dating apps have a responsibility to create a positive and inclusive environment that respects diverse relationship preferences and intentions. Conclusion: casual interactions in dating apps are influenced by the gamified nature of swiping, which encourages quick decisions and superficial judgments based on visual cues. This dynamic fosters a cycle of short-term connections characterized by minimal emotional investment or commitment, prioritizing novelty and immediate gratification over deeper compatibility or long-term relationship goals. While dating apps offer accessibility and convenience in meeting new people, understanding the implications of casual interactions is essential for promoting a balanced and positive user experience that respects diverse relationship preferences and encourages meaningful connections based on mutual respect and compatibility. Mental health concerns. Anxiety and depression in the context of dating apps. Anxiety and depression can significantly impact users of dating apps due to the emotional highs and lows associated with seeking connections, managing self-presentation, and navigating potential rejections. Here's a thorough exploration of how these mental health challenges manifest within the dating app experience. 1. Pressure to present. Self-presentation. Users often feel pressured to present the best versions of themselves through curated profiles, appealing photos, and engaging bios. This pressure stems from the desire to attract matches and establish a positive impression, potentially leading to anxiety about how they are perceived by others. Social comparison. The process of swiping and matching invites comparisons with others, which can exacerbate feelings of inadequacy or self-doubt if users perceive themselves as less attractive or successful compared to their matches. 2. Fear of rejection. Vulnerability. Engaging with dating apps requires users to put themselves out there emotionally, making them vulnerable to potential rejection or dismissal. The fear of rejection can lead to heightened anxiety about initiating conversations, expressing interest, or pursuing meaningful connections. Impact of rejection. Experiencing rejection or lack of matches can trigger feelings of disappointment, sadness, or low self-esteem, particularly if users internalize rejection as a reflection of their worth or attractiveness. 3. Emotional roller coaster. Highs and lows. The unpredictable nature of dating apps, where users experience highs and lows, can contribute to emotional instability and mood swings. Dependency on validation. Seeking validation through matches or positive interactions can create a cycle of emotional dependence on external approval, where users' self-worth becomes intertwined with their dating app experiences. 4. Perceived expectations. Idealized relationships. Users may internalize societal or app-driven expectations of idealized relationships or perfect matches, leading to unrealistic standards or heightened pressure to find a perfect partner through dating apps. Comparison with others. Comparing one's dating app experiences with those of others can amplify feelings of inadequacy or dissatisfaction, especially if peers appear to have more successful or fulfilling interactions. 5. Coping mechanisms. Cognitive distortions. Negative thinking patterns, such as catastrophizing rejection or overgeneralizing lack of matches, can exacerbate anxiety and depression. Recognizing and challenging these cognitive distortions is essential for managing emotional well-being. Seeking support, engaging with friends, support networks, or mental health professionals can provide emotional support and perspective, offering strategies for coping with dating app-related stressors and fostering resilience. 6. Ethical considerations. User well-being. Dating apps have a responsibility to prioritize user well-being by promoting healthy app usage habits, providing resources for managing anxiety and depression, and fostering a supportive community environment that values inclusivity and respect. Privacy and safety. Protecting user privacy and safety includes safeguarding against harmful behaviors such as harassment or abuse, which can exacerbate anxiety and depression among vulnerable users. Conclusion. Anxiety and depression in the context of dating apps are influenced by the pressures of self-presentation, fear of rejection, and the emotional roller coaster of seeking connections. These challenges can impact users' mental health, contributing to feelings of anxiety, low self-esteem, and emotional instability. Understanding the psychological implications of dating app usage is crucial for promoting a positive user experience that prioritizes mental well-being, resilience, and healthy relationship-building practices. By addressing these concerns ethically and supporting users with resources for managing stress and emotional challenges, dating apps can contribute to a more balanced and supportive digital dating environment. Self-worth issues in the context of dating apps. Self-worth issues can arise in users of dating apps when they equate their value or attractiveness with the number of matches, positive interactions, or validation they receive within the app. This phenomenon is influenced by the dynamics of seeking external validation and comparison with others, which can impact users' self-esteem and self-image. Here's an in-depth exploration of how self-worth issues manifest within the context of dating apps. 1. External validation. Dependency on matches. Users may develop a dependency on receiving matches or positive interactions as a source of validation. The perception that more matches equate to higher attractiveness or desirability can lead to a cycle of seeking external approval to validate one's self-worth. Impact of rejection. Experiencing rejection or lack of matches may be internalized as a reflection of personal inadequacy or unattractiveness. This negative feedback can contribute to feelings of diminished self-worth and self-doubt. 2. Comparison with others. Social comparison. Comparing one's success or attractiveness on dating apps with that of others can exacerbate self-worth issues. Users may perceive themselves as less desirable or attractive if they believe their matches or interactions pale in comparison to those of their peers. Idealized standards. Internalizing societal or app-driven standards of attractiveness or relationship success can create unrealistic expectations, leading users to question their own worth if they do not meet these perceived ideals. 3. Psychological impact. Self-esteem. Equating self-worth with dating app outcomes can undermine users' self-esteem, as their sense of value becomes contingent upon external feedback rather than intrinsic qualities or personal achievements. Emotional vulnerability. Relying on external validation for self-worth makes users emotionally vulnerable to fluctuations in app interactions. Positive feedback may temporarily boost self-esteem, while negative feedback or lack of validation can trigger feelings of insecurity or unworthiness. 4. Behavioral patterns. Validation-seeking behaviors. Users may engage in behaviors aimed at maximizing matches or positive interactions, such as editing profiles, choosing flattering photos, or altering messaging strategies to appeal to perceived preferences. Risk of overengagement. Overengaging with dating apps to seek validation may detract from other aspects of life, leading to reduced focus on personal goals, relationships offline, or overall well-being. 5. Coping strategies. Self-awareness. Recognizing and challenging thoughts linked to external validation can promote self-awareness and reduce reliance on dating app outcomes for self-worth. Healthy perspective. Developing a balanced perspective on dating app interactions, recognizing that matches or interactions do not define one's worth, can help mitigate self-worth issues and promote resilience. 6. Ethical considerations. Promoting positive user experience. Dating apps have a responsibility to promote positive user experiences by fostering a supportive environment that values authenticity, respect, and inclusivity. This includes discouraging behaviors that may exacerbate self-worth issues, such as comparison or unrealistic expectations. User education. Providing resources or guidance on maintaining healthy self-esteem and managing validation-seeking behaviors can empower users to navigate dating apps in ways that prioritize their mental well-being. Conclusion. Self-worth issues in the context of dating apps are influenced by the tendency to equate personal value with external validation. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you enjoyed the story and would like to hear more, please share this podcast with your friends and rate it on your favorite podcast platform. Don't forget to visit my website at www.tonyc.info for more content, updates, and exclusive behind-the-scenes insights. This podcast is mainly supported by listeners like you. If you want to help keep the stories coming, consider supporting me on Patreon at www.patreon.com/JTAC. Even just $1 a month makes a huge difference and helps me continue to create the content you love. Thank you again for listening. Your support means the world to me. Until next time, stay safe and keep exploring the unknown.